Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining in for the F5 Advanced Threats Require an Advanced WAF. We will wait a couple of minutes for more attendees to join in, and then we will start at 11:05. Thank you. Hi, good morning once again, everyone, and thank you for joining in for the F5 Advanced Threats Require an Advanced WAF. Today's session, we will have Mr. Faris, the F5 vendor manager speaking from Exclusive Networks Middle East. And we will have our Senior Technical Solutions Manager, Mr. Serge Ganham, speak. A few housekeeping rules for everyone. Everyone is on mute and all attendees are encouraged to raise questions for the speakers. Let's keep it more interactive so that our speakers can help you and assist you in any queries you have. And please feel free to share your questions on the chat option available on the GoToWebinar meeting panel. So to start it off, can we have Faris? You can start off. Can we change to Faris?
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much, Ryan. Good morning. Am I clear? Can you see me clearly? Can you hear me clearly? Everything is good?
Yes, loud and clear and perfect.
Very good. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks a lot for attending. We'll try to get the best out of the session. Before we go through the AWAF presentation, please allow me a few minutes just to brief you on F5 vision. F5, you know, it's leading the technology era. It's leading the way for the application delivery worldwide, and they have a very solid vision when it comes to the adaptive applications. I really wanted to brief you on that vision, and after that, we'll hand it over to Serge Ghanem to walk you through the AWAF presentation. So let's start. So everyone is talking about the rich digital experience. Everyone, you hear nowadays, it's a buzzword, digital experience. We want better digital experiences. This is delivered and driven by mega institutes worldwide, like Uber, like, I don't know, McDonald's, like Kareem, like Booking.com. Everyone has their own applications, and it's driving, you know, a more rich experience for the customers, that everyone demand the same experience nowadays. So I'm one of the guys actually who had moved from one bank to another bank just because of, I would say, a poor digital experience, where it happened once, you know, with the transactions, and it happened some other time with logging attempt, and the third time I said, that's it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm moving from one bank to another bank. So moving took me literally 20 minutes to open an account, and 1 day to receive my credit card, my checkbook, my everything delivered right to me. So this is, you know, moving from one bad digital experience, one bad poor digital experience can result in losing a customer. So nowadays, this put a big pressure on IT departments to perform more, to deliver more. Now, we all know there is the common challenge that has been running for years, which is the budget challenge. This is always there. But with the pandemic in place, companies were forced to transform. They were forced to deliver a rich customer experience. Anyone who didn't do that were, I don't want to say out of the market, but at least facing challenges in maintaining their customer base. So to stay relevant, customers, they had to move on and to transform as fast as possible. Actually, latest study showed that the time span of transformation moved from 6 years to 3 months with the pandemic. So this is, you know, just an example that people, they want to transform, and they have to transform to stay relevant all the way. However, this puts a big pressure on IT organizations to deliver a rich customer experience. So some of these challenges are definitely, if you want to have more exposure, more experiences for your users, then this gives them an attack surface, a higher, bigger attack surface, where they people can be having more attacks on your applications. If you giving them more controls, that gives an opportunity for some other people. Security exposures increased 300% over the past 3 years. Actually, it increased 168% from on the half of this year until now only. So it is growing, and this is all on the application level. Another thing is the complex application portfolios companies they have. So some companies, they have monolithic applications on their data center. Some other companies, they have a mix between, you know, monolithic applications, traditional applications, modern applications, some applications probably on the edge, and some SaaS applications, cloud native. So it's becoming very complex for you know, organizations to manage also a complex app portfolio. Also, the visibility over the experience I would say it's not yet there. So there is application, there are solutions to look into the traffic, how is it moving, but to have an insight over the experience end to end, it's not yet there, or it's not yet mature yet. So this gives a big pressure also on IT organizations to deliver a rich user experience. However, if we want to think about any digital experience we want to deliver to our users, browsers or apps, then we are talking about it's a blend between traditional applications and modern applications. This looks beautiful here on the slides, looks very simple, but reality, it is extremely difficult. The main reason is that modern applications and traditional applications, they speak two different languages. In the modern application world, we're talking about APIs, DevOps, DevSecOps, we're talking about the different way of application delivery, microservices, containers, and on the monolithic and traditional applications here, we're talking about load balancing, advanced delivery controls, multi-cloud kind of application delivery, and there is a segregation between them. They don't use the same languages. They don't communicate with the same, they don't understand each other very well. However, there is one more thing. The telemetry or the visibility over the applications that's in the modernized applications and the visibility over the traditional applications are not interconnected in a way or another. So you can maybe see what's happening on your containers, and you can see what's happening in your data center, but to have a full visibility over what's happening as an experience to me or to you, that's not currently the case. So it is very challenging. Let me just recap on the challenge itself. The challenge is your customers demand a high-end customer experience and digital experience. They want it to be in place. Otherwise, it is very easy for companies to move from one company to another company with a click of a button. The challenge is, I don't think the budget is the challenge. It has been always a challenge, but this is not the challenge nowadays. The challenge is we want to deliver these things, but there is a big vulnerability, there is a big risk of transformation, and there is not enough tools in the market to have this connectivity between the modern application world and the traditional application and the edge and all your applications from end to end. So F5 came up with a very positive approach to address this challenge, basically. So F5, they have, with different acquisitions that took place over the past 2 years, they have been working hard toward the vision to have your application adaptive. And when we say adaptive, we are talking about having your application grow based on demand and shrink if there is no demand, and to heal itself in case of an attack, and to defend itself by having more intelligence. So how did they do that, basically? They did it through through the core of F5 for the traditional application deliveries, like the ones we know, all the LTM, APM, the common core solutions of F5. They did it also with Nginx, which is a mega acquisition for F5 to serve the area of modern applications delivery. They have also a full telemetry and understanding over the whole experience from modern, traditional, and edge altogether. Still, this is as a visionary approach. So this is the vision of F5 on how to do it. Stitching these applications will become much more easier down the line. As of now, there is no stitching happening. Or if it happens, it is manual, that is not scalable anymore. So let me just wrap up this quick introduction. F5 probably is the only company that have a complete portfolio whenever it comes to application delivery, regardless of where is the application now. So we have the big IP family that is completely mature and well known for the past 20 years for application delivery, application availability, and applications performance. This is for the traditional applications. We have Nginx, which is powering up the modern application delivery. Nginx, by the way, is powering up 450 million websites worldwide and powering up 70% of the world's busiest web applications in the world. It's a mega acquisition. We started to see a lot of use cases for Nginx across the region. It's growing on daily basis, and we think this is going to take, this is a big movement for F5 toward a containerized environment to help applications deliver faster, safer, and more to become more available. Also, not to forget F5 security. F5 security, a very interesting study that F5 cybersecurity solutions, if you combine them all together under one umbrella, then this company is going to be one of the top 3 companies in the world when it comes to cybersecurity. We have a massive portfolio whenever it comes to cybersecurity. So even today, in today's session, Serge is going to talk about one pillar out of the cybersecurity solutions, which is the AWAF, and he's going to walk you through that. Last but not least, I wanted also to highlight that we have one of the world's most powerful AI engines. That is, with that in place, I think sky is the limit. So I'm reaching to the end of that. I hope it was clear. Please, if you have any questions about the adaptive applications, about the vision of F5, about any of the solutions we just mentioned in F5, please reach out to us, and we'll be happy to assist you in that. And with that said, I think I need to pass this to Serge. Thank you very much for attending, and looking forward to collaborate all together. Thank you.
Thank you, Faris, for that insightful session. We will move to Serge, who will give us a more in-depth knowledge on this.
Everyone, am I audible before starting?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank Faris for this amazing introduction, and a very fruitful introduction about the adaptive application and how F5 is addressing it. And I would like to thanks everyone for joining our session today. As mentioned in our invitation, the purpose of this session is to show you the added value of F5, and especially the added value of the Advanced WAF, which is a key or one of the top advanced or WAF solutions in the market. Let me introduce firstly myself. My name is Serge Ghanem, and I'm a Technical Solutions Manager at Exclusive Networks. And as I mentioned in our today's session, we will be covering how advanced and why advanced applications these application threats require an advanced WAF security solution. First, as my colleague Faris mentioned in his introduction, virtually or nowadays, every organization is in the middle of its digital transformation. And one of their main concerns, as mentioned as well, is their sensitive data, where half of the apps have a lot of vulnerabilities when they are being created or developed fast, and especially nowadays when the apps needs to be developed fast and be published to the external users and representing the digital presence of the company or the business identity of the company. In addition to that, as well, we need to consider the cloud move, where the infrastructure does not move with us and applications are not being protected properly on the cloud. And the last concern of all the companies now is the APIs and the machine-to-machine interactions, which unlock new business models for increased efficiency. And these APIs are also needed or also need protection, as the traditional control often can't be applied, because nowadays APIs footprint is increasing, and a lot of companies are considering or are using APIs for their published application with the integration of third parties application as well. And this is very known in the mobile app world. So how do we protect the apps? And what is the first layer of security to protect these apps? It is obviously, and this is the minimum solution to have, it is the web application firewall solution. And why WAF is essential to is an essential security control to protect our published services, and even nowadays with the zero trust model, our corporate services. First, because it can protect against the application vulnerabilities, the active attacks, and can reduce the risk and address compliance. And this is something very important now with the compliance and standard needed, GDPR, a lot HIPAA nowadays, a lot of compliance as well. Not to forget that these apps needs to be protected as they are the gateway to the data. And this is why it's needed. The WAF solution is needed. This is the gateway for our data. And consumers are interacting with your businesses through these apps. And the hacker is interacting with your data through these apps. So if these apps are not well protected, the hacker will be able to extract the oil, and this is what's called equivalent nowadays, your data. So before we start to speak about the advanced WAF capabilities, we will cover the F5 WAF solution journey and how it started with the big IP ASM, which is the traditional WAF of F5, and the ASM end of sale announcement. And we'll have a quick recap on the ASM feature, which were carried over and enhanced in the F5 Advanced WAF. And I'm sure a lot of you guys, or a lot of the people in our session today are familiar with the ASM feature and the old ASM, old WAF or traditional WAF of F5. So F5, and why F5 ended sale for ASM on the 1st of April 2020. F5 initially offered ASM in 2004. Their WAF portfolio has been expanded significantly over the years, including F5 Advanced WAF, F5 Silverline Managed WAF, F5 Cloud Service Essential App Protect. And since its introduction in 2018, Advanced WAF has been the preferred big IP based WAF. Advanced WAF, for you to know before speaking about the Advanced WAF in detail, provide the entire, so the Advanced WAF provides the entire big IP ASM feature set, as well as the additional capabilities and add-on options not available in the big IP ASM, obviously. That's why it's called Advanced WAF. And the big IP ASM is being retired just to simplify the F5 application security portfolio and enable our customers to benefit from the expanded feature set of the Advanced WAF. So let's do a quick recap on the feature of the old or traditional ASM and how they have moved to the Advanced WAF, and speak about the new advanced feature and unique feature of the Advanced WAF. So first one of the feature sets is the signature-based protection, where the ASM can block web attacks by comparing requests to a database, of course, the database of attack signatures. For example, protecting against known attacks, and this is, by the way, a very basic feature. Known attacks like SQL injection, cross-site scripting, buffer overflow, directory traversal, all these are through signature protection. The second key feature, which was the basic bot protection identification, where the ASM challenges the browser client with some JavaScript validation. And another challenge is to compare the request against a database of known signature. And you can see here in this event logs, the bot defense request, you can see at what time, who was generating the bot attacks, how it was generated and why, and how it was detected, by the way, and the support ID, where you can see all the details. And this feature was was moved to an advanced feature in the Advanced WAF. We're going to see it later on. The third key feature is where the ASM can block inbound web application traffic based on an unwanted IP address coming from a specific geolocation or has a IP bad reputation from a known database, like, for example, crawlers, scammers, unknown proxies, and so on. And this is a very necessary feature to have in any WAF solution. The fourth key feature of the WAF, of the ASM and the Advanced WAF, which is still there as well, is the session-based protection, where the ASM or the Advanced WAF nowadays can stop the hacker from hijacking or manipulating an already established session with a legitimate user browser. And these kind of attacks are very known, like cross-site scripting, forgery, and very known while we are trying to do some money transactions where the hackers try to sit in between and steal an amount of money from us, or when we are trying to pay on any website or even pay or purchase on any e-commerce website or even transacting on any banking website as well. The fifth key feature was and still the most important feature for our clients, where the ASM or the WAF is able to build a policy from real learned application traffic and provide a full visibility and reporting into the traffic. And this will help the administrator to decide which traffic needs to be whitelisted or blocked. In addition to that, it can provide a very simple way to handle false positive alerts. And this is, for example, a screenshot of the event logs of one of the violations that is showing the details of it. The attack signature, for example, it's showing it was an illegal meta character here in the request, attack signature, and what is it exactly? What are the patterns that discover that it is an attack signature ID, all the details. And if you click on all the details, we're gonna know from which geolocation, the source IP address, the GET request, the post, if it's GET request, post request, all the information inside the request, on which level of the parameter, and so on. The attack or the ASM key capabilities were very strong and robust, but the risks are evolving and hackers are targeting credentials and sensitive data more through advanced web attacks. For example, 3 billion credentials were reported stolen in 2016, and one of them is on LinkedIn platform. It's very known. 77% of attacks, automated attacks, are increasing in frequency and sophistication. 43% of application layer DDoS, and they are evading signature reputation based on security solutions. So nowadays, the layer 7 DDoS attack is more critical than what's called volumetric DDoS attack, or layer 3, layer 4 DDoS attack, or what's called even targeted attack. It is a kind of sophisticated DDoS attack that can, the layer 7 DDoS attack, it's a sophisticated attack that can take our application down in seconds. For these reasons and many more, F5 Networks was the first vendor to initiate an upgrade from its robust traditional WAF, known as ASM, to the advanced WAF, and here are the top advanced key capabilities of this solution. So the advanced WAF capabilities, the first one is the threat campaign, and this is a very trending topic nowadays. We are hearing about threat intelligence, threat campaigns. This is something very important, and this is one of the key advanced capabilities in F5. The threat campaign, which is an add-on threat intelligence subscription for F5, Advanced WAF, of course, and this service provides intelligence that contains contextual information about the nature and purpose of active threat campaigns. In contrast, although WAF may detect a syntax error in a web application form, without threat intelligence, it cannot correlate the singular attack incident as part of a more extensive and sophisticated threat campaign. This threat campaign feature is very important, specifically now with the sophisticated type of attacks, and it will help a lot our customers. And here is an example of a threat campaign in model of signature, where you can see that this is targeting the Apache structs, Jakarta, and this is a description of it, how it will be executed, and how F5 can protect against this collateral damage that can be impacting our applications. The second feature is the advanced bot protection, where our advanced WAF will protect against sophisticated bots and automated browsers by validating the browser capabilities and differentiating between the good bots and malicious bots, or even impersonating bots, which are the biggest challenge nowadays. And here is a screenshot how easy it is to configure the bot profile, the advanced bot profile. From trusted bots, we can alarm. Untrusted bots, we can, for example, alarm, block, delete, TCP reset. Suspicious browser as well, we can challenge through captcha. Malicious bots, unknown bots, we can take action on each type of bots and how to challenge our users. And we can see as well how F5 can show all bots being targeting us. For example, we can see here the accepted request, the known, the alarm, the captcha, the whitelisted, the browser masquerading, all type of malicious bots as well, and being blocked, and so on. The third advanced feature is the layer 7 behavioral DDoS mitigation, where the F5 AWAF relies on its artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities to create a baseline based on the continuous monitoring of the back-end application health and stress, server stress. And based on that, the baseline or auto threshold will help to differentiate between good actors and bad actors and eliminate the false positive alerts while under a layer 7 DDoS attack. And this is one of the key feature of F5 and one of the unique feature with the ability to be able to differentiate between bad actor and good actor while under a layer 7 DDoS attack. And here is the capability as well of the DDoS protection to create a DDoS signature, or what's called traffic pattern signature, that might be used later on a few on new, for example, bad actors. So, for example, let's say if I was detected as a bad actor and Faris later on use the same traffic pattern, F5 will use the signature that was created for my traffic pattern and to detect the traffic pattern of Faris, and automatically will block him based on the layer 7 DDoS signature. Fourth advanced capability is the credential stocking. And this feature will protect against attempts to authenticate using known or leaked stolen credentials from a known database in the world. So when an attempt of a brute force is detected, credential stocking suspicious attempts are checked and compared to a known database and stopped from a user account takeover attack. And here is how it is easy to configure this feature. We just need to configure a login page, define it here, and under the brute force, whenever there is a brute force detection, we can just enable credential stuffing, and automatically F5 will be able to detect if it is coming from a leaked credential or not. And we can see here in the reporting as well that this is an example of an event with mitigated IPs and stolen username. You can see the mitigated IP addresses coming from different IPs all over the world. Plus, you can see the mitigated username or the username that we're using, or these are the stolen username here in this report, and it will show you how many failed attempts were done by each username. Fifth advanced capability is one of my favorite, honestly, and we're gonna do a demo for it after explaining about it. This capability is the application layer encryption, or client-side credential protection, or in F5, as the feature is known as data safe, where the AWAF will protect against the credential theft at the client web browser level by deactivating the man-in-the-browser malware capability of stealing the user's credential or critical information. And here is the way of doing it. So let's suppose that we are protecting an application that's sitting behind an F5 AWAF, and data safe feature is enabled, or the application layer encryption is enabled. And this feature is always enabled, by the way, even if we are a victim of a malware or not. So let's take an example of a customer that has a malware in the browser, and this malware is trying to collect credentials or credentials from the login page that he's accessing to this application. So this user is already infected with the malware. He's trying to open a connection to the application. While the application responds to the F5 will add an obfuscated code or obfuscated JavaScript to the response. But not only obfuscated JavaScript, he will add as well his public key and will include it in the response page and send it to the victim browser. Obviously, when the page will be displayed, the malware will start to run to collect the username and password while the user is typing them. Okay? While the user is typing them, the malware tried to get the username and password. But since the obfuscated JavaScript was sent in the response, automatically the password will be masked or hashed or replaced with different characters. And in that case, the user, even if he has the malware in his browser, will be able to authenticate thanks to the private key of F5 securely. However, when the hacker will take the username and password to his drop zone, he will not be able to decrypt this password because it was changing in the real time, and we're going to see that. And he will not be able to take over on the user account and access his account and get the privilege on it. Let's have a demo on that. Let's have a demo before continuing our presentation. So, Ryan, can you confirm that you can see my screen?
Confirmed, you can see.
Okay. So here I have an F5, which is sitting in front of one of my applications as well. So let's take an example. So we have an application which is called DVWA. This is a dummy application that I have. Okay, I can log into it. Okay, with my username, password. Okay, and I can log in. It's normal. This application is sitting behind a load balancer. I didn't activate yet the data safe, but I want to show you how the hacker, whenever he injects a malware, how he can get all my credentials if he's running a malware. He's gonna do this even before logging in. So let's say I'm typing my username and password. I type the password. The hacker usually will have a script, of course, but I'm doing it manually here. If I click here and inspect, okay, I'm gonna see that I'll be able to see the element, and usually the hacker will run his script in a console. Okay, I have already the commands that the hacker will be doing. So he's gonna be all running the malware in the browser, and that runs these kind of commands. So if you check here, if he will be able directly to see the username, if he runs this command in his script, and he's going to be as well running this for the password, and he can see the password in the real time, or in the character of password before even submitting the login. So this before even sending the traffic encrypted. But even if this hacker will try to log in, so sorry, if this user, the victim, will try to log in, even if the hacker wasn't able to catch this credential here, he's going to be able to catch the credential after the submitting the form, after logging in. So if we go here on the network part and we'll check the login.php, the login.php of this, we're going to be able and see the headers. If we scroll down in the header, we'll be able to see the username and password even after submitting. So in that case, the hacker will be able to collect our credential and log into our account on this application. It's applicable to any kind of application in the world, banking, e-commerce. The hacker will be targeting the weakest point on the communication, which is the user browser. So what F5 will do in that case, okay, and even by the way here in the elements, you'll be able to see in the body and in the head, for example, here, if I log out, you'll be able to see in plain text where the password input is happening and what is usually the password and so on. Let's try to apply the data safe feature in F5. So first of all, this is the application that I'm publishing, DBWA, listening on 10.1.10.35. Okay, very good. I want to apply a data safe protection, the data safe protection. What I will do, I'll create this profile. This profile was created previously. I will check my login URL. My login URL of this application is /login.php. Okay, I will enable on it the application layer encryption, and I will define what are the parameters that describe the login page. Obviously, this is the username, and I will ask to encrypt them and substitute the password value before submitting the form. Plus, what I will do in real time, I will enable, I will ask my F5 to identify the stolen credential. Plus, I will enable in real time encryption. So if I'm typing, while I'm typing, F5 will substitute with random characters my username and password. Let's apply this data safe profile on my application. Let's apply it here. Okay, I will enable it here. Okay. And now we apply. Okay. Once applied, I will go back and access my DBWA application. Okay, so let's do the same. Gordon be my username, and I'll put my password. Okay, I will not submit now. Let's inspect and check first the console. Let's try to see what the hacker will do if he's running a script, but I'm doing again this manually. So obviously he's gonna be trying to check the username. The username is showing because I didn't ask to substitute the value. However, I can substitute the value of the username, but let's see what he will do for the password. For the password, he replaced all the characters that I've typed in. He replaced all the alphabetical character with AAAA and all the numeric character or integer with 1111. In that case, he will not be able to understand to know the password before submitting. Let's try now to submit. Okay, let's try to submit. I'm logging in. Okay, very good. Let's see now what's going to happen after submitting. If I'll be able to see in the headers as well the username and password. I can see, look, now the username and password were all replaced by random characters, and in that case, even after submitting, the hacker will not be able to know anything. Plus, let's take an example. While I'm typing the characters here, while I'm typing the characters, how the hacker will, how the F5 data safe will replace the characters in real time while typing. Look. In real time. Second. I'm sorry, I forgot to inspect. So let me do it again. Admin, see here, while I'm typing A, B, C, or Gordon, look, it's changing automatically. It's changing automatically in the HTML form as well. So Gordon B, and even while I'm typing now the password A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, it's changing automatically in real time. And nothing gonna change. It will not impact anything on the behavior of the application. I'll be able to log in securely. So this is the advantage of having the database safe. I think there is a question here. Okay, no. Okay. So please, guys, if there is anyone that wants to ask a question, feel free to ask me anytime. So this is the demo, how we can protect against credential theft. And this is a very advanced feature in F5. Let me go back to the presentation with the last feature, which is the API protection. So last but not least, this is one of the as well advanced feature, which is the 6th advanced capability offered by the Advanced WAF, is the API security, which provides robust security to modern applications or server-to-server communication. And this is it's a straightforward configuration on the F5. You can create an API security policy through a straightforward way, which is called a guided configuration, by just asking your development team to provide you with something called Swagger file from their applications, from the application. So the Swagger file, it can be provided automatically from the API application and just be imported on the AWAF, and in that case, the AWAF is smart enough to create an API policy in seconds for your API calls, or all the APIs that are coming to your API servers. So how does ASM compare to the Advanced WAF? The Advanced WAF, as I mentioned, offer a superset of the ASM features. Additional capabilities include ease of use enhancement with guided configuration and dashboard, expanded layer 7 Ddos capabilities, data safe that we have demonstrated, API protection, and threat intelligence add-on options. And you can see in this screenshot a conversion document that highlights the key Advanced WAF comparing to the old Big IP ASM differentiator. In order to acquire the F5 Advanced WAF, you need to go with one of the following offers. So first offer, the one that we have demonstrated, which is the F5 Big IP WAF that can be deployed on hardware or virtual edition platforms or VMs on-prem or even in any public or private cloud infrastructure. This one, which we have demonstrated in our session. The other option is the cloud managed WAF, which is called Silverline. It's a fully managed WAF solution by a security expert in the F5 SOC data center. And it's very advanced as well. It has all the advanced capability of the on-prem advanced WAF. The third option is the F5 Cloud Software as a Service WAF, which is called Essential App Protect as well. It is the cloud native SaaS platform for securing a simple and fast way of your application. It's just like a predefined policies, WAF policy, where you can secure all your your hosted application anywhere in the world, but it's not recommended to be deployed for a critical application. It's usually deployed for non-critical application. So to sum up, the F5 Advanced WAF advantages will provide you with your application with a level of bot protection beyond signature and reputation, an account takeover protection that stop credential theft and abuse, which we have demonstrated, enough layer DDoS protection that adapts to changing apps. With that, I thank you all for listening for our session. Please feel free to put your question in the Q&A section. We are ready to support you, to help you. And for any future query, please send us email. We can help you. And we suggest you to test this advanced WAF solution. We can do for you demo, we can do for you POCs, and show you the value of this solution in your environment. With that, I thank you all. Ryan, back to you.
Thank you so much, Serge, for that insightful session. Right now we have the Q&A. If anyone has any queries or would like to ask us any questions, or if you all have anything that you'd like to share with us, please let us know. You all can drop in a question in the questions area or the chat area. It would be really nice. Or you can always drop us an email on events-ae@exclusive-networks.com. That's fine. All right, perfect. Thank you, everyone. Once again, thank you, Serge. Thank you, Faris, for an awesome session, and hope you all have a good day. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.